Hi, everyone, and welcome to Theater Talk. This Theater Talk involves the production The Lion King at Proctor's Theater, the return of Lion King to Proctor's Theater. We welcome you. We have three members of the cast. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and tell a little bit about themselves and what part they play in the show, and then we'll open it to the audience that's here in the GE Theater to ask any questions that they may have. Okay, guys, why don't we start at the end? Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Mykal Ashlee. I am a swing in The Lion King, and a swing is someone that covers multiple roles within the ensemble. So I cover all of the male singers, all of the male dancers, and some of the female tracks within the show. I know, right? Yeah, I know. I've been doing this show now for 5 years. I just hit my 5-year mark. I'm originally from Orange, New Jersey. I went to school at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. That's where I studied, as well as Dance Theater of Harlem, and a little bit at the Juilliard School. I have my master's in British literature from UCLA, and that's my story.
Good afternoon. My name is Nia Holloway. I play the role of Nala. I have been with the show for 3 years. I started when I was 17. I'm the youngest woman to play the role of Nala. I got casted the junior year of high school. I finished my senior year of high school, my first year on the road. So I'm very blessed to be amongst all of these amazing, talented people, and this is my first theater job. So.
Hi, my name is Ben Lipitz. I play Pumba, the warthog. I have been with the production between the Gazelle North American Tour and Broadway, just beginning my 14th year with the show. In June, thank you. In June, I will actually crest my 5,000th performance of the show. I'm originally from just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting from California Institute of the Arts. I did my master's work at Yale. I am a lifetime member of the Actors Studio. So if you watch a show on TV, you have an idea of the acting background. And that's it. There you go.
Andy was here the last time Lion King was in Schenectady, too. Playing the same role, I think, right?
I was young Nala last time.
Oh,
I was
Pardon me.
the oldest Caucasian man to play young Nala.
I just want to mention to you, we have a couple of school groups here, too. We have Schoharie Central School, which is where I went until 7th grade. Charlton Heights Elementary, which just did their production of Lion King.
Awesome.
And did we have another school group that just came in? Mount Pleasant Middle School here in Schenectady. All right. The floor is yours, audience. Any questions you may have, just raise your hand and fire away. We have a question back there. Could you speak up, please? Yes. I didn't hear the question. Excuse me, I'm going to
Nice and loud.
What's it like being in love with Simba?
With Simba.
Okay.
Well, we're all actors and actresses. So. No, I mean, it's fine. It's really weird because off stage he's like a big brother. So it's kind of weird to be in love with your big brother. But it's cool. Yeah, no, everybody's super cool, and he's like a super chill guy. So it's awesome, and it's fun to play on stage. So it's awesome.
Good. Question. Yes.
Question was how do I bring, after so many shows, how do you keep it exuberant and I'll go a little further, fresh? How is the performance? There's a saying in theater, you perform every night as if for the first time, and everyone can identify with that and creating the performance for the first time. And I've found that after so many years, you can tap that out, and then you can invest in the specifics of a performance, whether it's in this case, the puppetry or the singing or the dancing, and then even after a while, you can tap that out because you go to that well so many times. And what I've kind of come away with finally after so many shows, there are specific performances that I can remember as kind of touchstones in my life. Like, when my father was with me, or when the first time my children saw the show, or things where I have a personal connection. And those instances I can remember, but if you were to ask me to remember a performance from Schenectady 5 years ago, I would be like, I don't remember. But what I have come away with because of that is I take the stage every night as if it's for the last time. So that if that's the one performance that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life, that I'll remember, I can remember the one I gave this afternoon. So every day is as if for the last time.
Interesting. Got some questions from the young people in the back, and let's start with the hand farthest on this side. Go ahead. How do you get all the machinery like on the Lions back to work?
Who wants to answer that? Okay. So Mufasa and Scar, or who you talking about? So in their costumes, their hips look kind of wide. What are those like? They have like mechanics.
They have Mufasa and Scar's masks are mechanized. They're motorized, and they wear like a battery power pack within their costume. So there are wires going up the back of their costume. Underneath the wig, there's an insulated rubber cap because it's electrics. And the movement that they create in that kind of stylized movement of the lion, it looks as if their inertia is moving the mask, but really they have a wire going from the mechanics down their arm to a finger pad control that they control, so it moves the mask forward and back. Mufasa has one motor, because as a character, he's straightforward and direct. So his mask only moves in one direction. Scar has two motors, because his mask not only moves forward to confront, the power of the ferocity of a lion, but then he has a second motor that tilts it, because as a character, he's always looking to get around things. So the movement of the mask becomes a representation of the characters as well.
And just the minds dreaming this stuff up to me is the amazing part. I see the costumes and I'm just blown away every time I see how cleverly everything is put together.
Julie Taymor, who won the Tony for Best Director, who created our show along with puppet artist Mykal Curry.
Okay, let's start another question. The farthest on this side. Go ahead. In the back. Young people, I think probably Charlton Heights.
Just jump up.
You got it. Just stand up.
What is it like to play so many roles at the same time and not get nervous?
What's it like playing so many roles at the same time and not get nervous? I think that's an assumption.
Yeah. I'm always nervous. I am. Okay, so I have a swing book, and it's about this thick of probably like a 5-subject binder, and it's all my notes, all my spacing, all my choreography, and it's per track. So imagine 27 different tracks broken down into one binder. In some shows, I do have to do 3 tracks at a time. I've played 3 different characters at one time, which is pretty interesting. I don't even know how I do it. No. The great thing about this is that my brain works this way. It's not everyone can do the swing life. I know friends of mine that do this show, and they're like, I don't understand how you do it. And I'm just like, it computes here. I'm just like, you just go there, you just do that, you just move, like it's just simple. But ultimately, the best thing that I can say is planning and just really, really mapping out, like, okay, I may start with this. I may start off as a giraffe, and then I move to the gazelle, and then I'm back as a zebra. And it's literally, I have to go scene by scene. I can't go any further than that. So.
One step at a time.
And how much warning do you get? Is it sometimes just a moment's notice, and you really have to know that binder?
Yeah, it can be like Circle of Life has started. Yay, boom, Mykal report to stage left. Dang it. And I don't know who I'm on for until I get there. And they're just like, oh, you're on for, let's say, the gazelle. And I'm like, okay, gazelle goes 16, 17, 18. Okay, 4, 5. Okay, ready, let's go. That's how quick it moves.
Wow, amazing, amazing. And you majored in slow, ponderous English literature?
I love it. I love it. Words are beautiful.
Chaucer and I never got
I
along.
love Chaucer.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
actually my favorite author.
No. Yes, question. Staying with Mykal, were you in today's show, and how many different parts?
I actually was not. I know. I wish I could have performed for you all. But that could also change tonight. So no, I wasn't. I was actually just backstage, just waiting and on my phone. You didn't hear that, but I was.
Reading English literature. Yes, go ahead. There's just stand up and ask the question in the back. Yes. How do you get the smoke coming? And I didn't hear the rest of it, but
Out
you
of
guys
the
probably
elephant
know.
Graveyard.
The stage that we perform on travels with us. We have a deck that's about 4 inches above the floor of Proctor's Theater. And between the floor of the theater and our stage floor, there are mechanics. There are like gear chains that move Pride Rock around, or some of the smaller shadow objects that you see. So it's an automation movement. There are also lines that go to big giant CO2 tanks. So there are specific spots in our floor that have hoses that go to these big tanks, and they literally blast out the blast of the CO2 that creates that geyser effect that you saw.
How long does it take to build a set when you guys move into town, when your crew moves into town?
The crew. Oh, I'm glad, because it takes me really long. They're actually, we have 2 sets that we travel with. So right now, this week in Richmond, Virginia, which is our next destination, they're already loading in our floor and our light grid, basically all of the piping that all of the lights and speakers that hang on for all the soft goods, all of the curtains and drops. So they're loading all of that in this week, and then everything between, basically, the ceiling and the floor travels from city to city, and then there will be a skeleton crew left here to remove our deck and set and things that we leave behind. So they'll be here for a week after the show leaves, and then that set will be kind of set into trucks and sent to Madison, Wisconsin, which is the next destination after Richmond. So the set is, we're always hopscotching. So we perform on the same set every other city.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. Yes, in the black sweatshirt with the DC on there. How do you control your nerves in front of so many people?
Well, is this on? Yeah. Okay. Oh, there we go. Well, for one, we can't see anybody. If this is the stage, we probably could see like the first 2 or 3 rows. But honestly, your nerves, I mean, I've been doing the show for 3 years, and some days, you aren't thinking about it, and some days I have butterflies, and I don't know why. It may be thousands of people in the audience. If I have one person that I know there, I'm like shaking and I'm nervous. If I know like one person, which is odd. But honestly, I think the best thing for nerves, I always tell people, is preparation. The one thing, nerves don't go anywhere. Butterflies, for all the people who are entertainers and performers, and nerves don't go anywhere. I don't care how many shows you do, they don't go away. But one thing that helps me is preparation. If I know I'm prepared, then that's half of my nervousness is gone. Because sometimes when you're nervous, you're just nervous because you don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know how it's going to be. You want to do well. But if you're prepared, half of that will go away. And the other nerves, that's the beautiful part of being an entertainer, because you care about what you're doing. So when you have nerves, don't worry about getting those nerves away. Just learn to control it and embrace the nerves. That's what I say. I embrace my nerves because that means I still care about what I'm doing,
Okay, good. There's been one arm that's been up in the back there. It is probably numb by now. So why don't you stand up? And what's your question? Go ahead. How'd they find you when you were a junior in high school, and what was that like?
So there was a family friend who sent us, you see Lion King's having auditions. It's like on Facebook or something. A family friend of ours messaged it to my mom and was like, Nia should try out for it. And it said it was calling for 18 to like 30 something or something like that. And my parents were like, let's try it. Like, I know they call for 18, but let's just see what happens. So it was an open call. So we went to the audition place where it was, and there was like about 100 people. It wasn't a super packed audition. It was only like 100, and so, and we waited all day, and I was incredibly nervous. And I went in and I sang my song 3 times, and then I did the scene, and I got critiqued by the casting director, Mark Brandon. He called me back the next day. I did the same thing again, And then about a month later, a month went by and we didn't hear anything. And I was like, oh man, I didn't get it. And so my mom was like, well, let's just message Mark Brandon to let him know that, we appreciate the opportunity. And I learned a lot. So I messaged him and I was like, thank you so much for the opportunity. I had a great time. And like 4 a.m, because he was in Australia, he messaged my mom back and said, I was just about to call you. Come to New York. I know you're only 17, but, the Lion King's going to be here. So, if you want to wait till you graduate, it's okay. You can come back. And I was like, I'm not waiting. So we went to New York for the final callback, and I did the audition. It was 2 days, and it was 8 hours, and it was long and grueling. That was some of the hardest work I've ever done. And I was kind of nervous because I was like talking to my parents. I was like, this is a lot of work. And this is just the audition. And I did the audition, and about 2 weeks later, I was on spring break, having the worst spring break ever because everybody else was on the beach. And I was at home, and it was terrible. And it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and my mom woke me up, and I thought she wanted me to walk the dog. So I was really annoyed. And she was like, Nia, wake up. I was like, Ma, please. And she said, good morning, Nala. And I was like, no. No. And my mom was like, yes. And me and my family just cried and cried and cried. And then after I found out and I told my school, and everybody was super supportive, and I finished school. And then at the end of that week, I flew out to start my journey.
You missed the beach, but you
Oh,
got
it was
Schenectady.
worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah, a person in pink has had alternating arms raised in the back there. Would you go ahead? What was your favorite song or scene in the whole thing?
Grasslands is my favorite scene. I love how beautiful, and when the men come out together and the grass heads are all even and the men look so strong. It's just very powerful, and every time I see it, it gives me chills. Sometimes I'll go out and watch it. It's just a very powerful, and to me, the grassland scene it embodies the whole show because it shows strength, and that symbolizes Mufasa to me. It just shows unity to me. That's what my favorite part is.
My favorite part of the show, favorite scene, I'm going to have to say Lioness Chant. As a dancer, visually, it's just beautiful. The women, I think that's to me, I'm like, Garth, you did that one. That one is really awesome. Like, everything flows well. Then you have the fabric with the silks going back and forth, and the intention behind the movement with the different artists. And I like the incorporation of having the singers on stage and having the women around. For me, visually, that's the best.
My favorite would be They Live in You, when Mufasa is taking Simba alone to talk about the past and the kings that watch over us. In that moment when he removes his crown and is just a father talking to a son and not a king, that's the one I love the most.
I didn't get that, so I watched it like 4 times. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, he's not a king anymore.
And of all the theater talks I've done with all the shows, the one answer I have never heard about what's your favorite part, I've never heard payday. So, all right, now, the person raising their arm and keeping it raised in pink back there.
It's orange. Yeah.
Yes, stand up. You. How do you get Mufasa to fly off the stage? And I'm sorry, it looked like pink, but I guess it's orange. I'm sorry.
He has really strong ankles. No. It's part of the Disney magic, but we'll keep it just between us and the viewing public. The actors Scar and Mufasa, and even young Simba at one point, are wearing harnesses under their costume, and there are very, very, very thin, small wires that are connected to a foy flying system, and they're hooked on, and literally as Mufasa scrambles up the wall, he's basically being pulled up by those wires, and then it's a computer-controlled program that literally drops him down to the stage. The wires are so thin and also so strong that you can hardly see them in the technical element, but Again, it's just part of that stagecraft that is just so amazing, blending the modern technology and simplistic storytelling that makes it so magical. So now, if any of you talk, Pumba will have to kill you.
All right, we have just time for one more question, and I believe in blue there. Hey, you've had your hand up? No, the person behind the person in blue. Okay. Yeah, you were. Go ahead.
What has been your favorite moment working?
What has been, and we'll go down the line for all three and make that the final question. What has been your favorite moment in working in musical theater?
Working musical theater. Okay. Oh, that's a good one.
Come
I
on, this
love
is
it.
cutting into your dinner time
It's
here.
okay.
So,
Okay. You know what? Okay, this is actually really good. Growing up, and I've been in the performing arts now for 20 years, but my grandfather wasn't always necessarily the most encouraging when it came to me in the arts, and I think that's just something with men and, whatever. Great.
generation.
Right. But he finally saw me in, fortunately, it wasn't Lion King, but it was Phantom of the Opera. And he came off stage. I came off stage and met him at the stage door, and he said, "I get it. And I'm so happy that you always told me no, and that you always went after what you wanted to do, because now I get it. Now I see it, and now you don't realize, but you've made me the happiest man alive." So, yeah.
That's a hard question. Well, I would have to say, with The Lion King being my first theater job, this show is so unique and it's so universal. And I think that when I joined this show, being young, I am a sponge, and I'm so inspired every single day by the people I work with. And I think that I have that moment every day. I kind of have that moment every day when I get to be on the top of Pride Rock, and the final moment is the final circle of life, and it goes boom, and you have that silhouette of the circle of life. Every single day, I get a chill, and I'm like, I'm in the Lion King. And I'm just, I feel so blessed, and I'm so humbled. This show has literally, this, phenomenal idea has literally been around as long as I have, and it's impacted so many people. And I just take pride in that when this ends and it goes away, I'm honored to say that my name is on it in some type of way. And so I kind of have that moment every day, because this is so special. And like you said, it could be the last day. You never know. So I take that in every single day. I promise I do. It's a long time.
I know, and I've had time to think while they were speaking too. I don't think I have one. There are favorite moments as a performer. There are favorite moments as audience. There are favorite moments in pursuit of the work. And actually, I think those would probably be my favorite moments. Are the moments when I have failed, when I have not succeeded, because I've learned the most. And in doing so, I've also received some personal compliments along the way that, despite the fact that I didn't book the job, it validated me as an artist. And I think those are probably my favorite, strongest moments, because those are the ones that sustain me and send me forward in willing to take risks and be willing to put myself out there as an artist to tell a story, whether it's this one, which I love with all my heart, or whether it's musical theater or any type of storytelling, whether it's film, television, legit theater. Yeah, I think those are probably my proudest moments, because they're also mine. Because, whether I made a choice and it wasn't the right one, I'm proud of the fact that I made a choice, even just as an artist, and was willing to put that out there. So I think those are probably my favorite moments.
All right, great. These folks have got to take their break and then get ready for the evening performance tonight. So How about a nice round of applause for them giving us some of their time? Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you all for your wonderful questions, especially the school groups. Thank you all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you.